begun to fray, its lands rent by tooth and claw.
Myself, you know. And I've had enough of this rabble. Come on!
As the chaos spread, the star seemed doomed to unravel, and yet... there were those who stood in defiance of that fate.
The hour is come, Freetra. It's all or nothing.
Will our hero deign to play their part?
You took your time. 'Tis as we feared. The respite afforded this land was but fleeting. The end draweth nigh.
Secrets to tell. Take care, my friend.
So, Charlian would keep its counsel while the world is lost to ruin?
It would. Come what may, we shall live on. We must.
Do as you must, then. But we scions will fight until the heavens fall, until our last breath.
Finally made it. The beginning of the end, folks. Never thought I'd actually get here. Hey everybody. Welcome back to another installment or episode of Final Fantasy XIV. The beginning of Endwalker. Here we are. After such a long journey, 9 months, thought I'd have a lot to say right now, but I really don't. You always get that pressure to give a speech or something, after something like that. But no. Even I thought that was a little too cheesy, so I didn't even bother trying to come up with anything to say other than, hey, I'm finally here. You know what they say about the journey of 1,000 miles, right? Well, I know damn well what that feels like now. Jesus Christ. I started this back in October 2021. Unbelievable. Getting flashbacks of the entire marathon right now. That trailer was almost 6 minutes. It's like 5.5 minutes. And what a beautiful one it was. Like, I get chills looking at it. Especially now that I'm actually, you know, here and ready to delve into the finer details of what it's alluding to. The final end. So I figured the best way to start this off, obviously with the trailer, right? I'm gonna play it again and analyze and, well, not analyze, mostly just commentate on, like I usually do. I usually don't have much to say on them, but I do have, you know, a few things here and there. But before we get started, there was something I saved almost a year ago. Well, a month from now it'll be exactly a year. In August of last year, when everybody, you know, Endwalker had long been announced already, and we were just a few months away from it. And I was 2 months from starting my marathon, thinking it was going to be done in 2 months. Jesus Christ. There was an event called the Moonfire Fair event, or something like that. The Moonfire Fair Festival, I believe, where they basically celebrate the anniversary of when this game was established. Don't know if they're celebrating 1.0 or Realm Reborn. I'm pretty sure it's probably Realm Reborn when it first released. And Yoshi P had a few words to say in the event, actually. So, let's go ahead and play that, and then get into this. Yeah, I didn't have the foresight of recording this event with my main character, so I just recorded it again on... Well, I played through it again and recorded it on my alt. We all know Zara. The moon! Greetings, Warrior of Light.
Bruh, look at this dude.
You needn't be alarmed. This is a world that exists outside your reality. Could it be a dream? A flight of fancy conjured by your weary mind? Perhaps, or perhaps not. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Naoki Yoshida, and you have my most heartfelt thanks for gracing this world with your presence and your deeds of surpassing courage and valor. On a day such as today, I hope you will forgive me a brief bout of nostalgia. This is only one scene from the event, by the way. I was going to show the whole fucking thing. It's too long. It has been an entire decade since I first came to this world. I was a stranger here, a traveler in a troubled land, and the quest for its salvation consumed my every moment. Yeah, when he got called in to save Final Fantasy XIV 1.0 when it was burning to the ground. That's exactly what he's referencing. The very fabric of the star began to fray. Countless trials were met and overcome, and the world not only survived, it flourished. This victory we owe to those who persevered alongside us, to those who explored and nurtured and loved this realm as much as we. Yes, it is you of whom I speak, of our indomitable adventurers. 10 years is a long time, yes, but for me the number holds no special significance. It is simply a count of the passage of days. Success, however, would not have come without that accumulation of daily effort, and that is what makes it a milestone worth marking. Thank you for staying the course with us these many years. Zara's unfinished clam. I didn't have enough pure white dye. It's still like half black, half white. Not that it looks too bad, though. I will keep making plans for this world for the foreseeable future. It has become a part of my life, and to see it grow is an adventure in itself. Rest well, Warrior of Light, for a grand convergence of events approaches. May the road upon which you must embark become the greatest of all journeys. Until we meet again, my friend. This was just part of the final cutscene, where he breaks the fourth wall and literally talks to the player directly. God damn, my throat. The rest is just in-game stuff again. It was a nice little event. I'm wondering if they're going to do it again this year too, in August, which is next month. But yeah, that was pretty much it. I don't think there's anything left in the last 2.5 minutes that's noteworthy, but yeah, they were in-game. They're pretty much remembering the calamity. You know, the end of 1.0 and the transition to Realm Reborn. Well, this sounds kind of... You know what, I'll read this. It sounds somewhat relevant, actually. The survivors of the calamity who yet face many challenges, he dedicates this verse. Scarred by the falling of fiery stars, the land is reborn with new life. Godslayer struck by an echoing roar, heavens ring with the promise of strife. Beast and man both seek freedom or death in bloody inferno unthemed. By unbroken hopes, from a sky long undimmed, shall the darkness of Eld be reclaimed. A merciless gale, an unending road. If this be the path we are fated, then pray be our dawn in the rift betwixt worlds, your soul's splendid light unabated. Guiding light, basically. And then he talks about the quest. I must apologize for pressing into service for my pop-berry scheme. Tend to consider adventurers as fellow wanderers and call upon the assistance of your kind with little reservation. This was recorded on PS4, by the way. I didn't have a PS5 a year ago. And even if I did, I don't think the official PS5 version had launched yet. As for the gifts themselves, there was another reason as to why I chose the Maya Lily. Traditionally, the bloom is said to represent a prayer for safe passage. He's wishing us safe passage as we embark on our final journey. The way ahead yet promises more hardship, and I wanted at the very least to wish you, all of you, the smoothest road for the coming journey. So this isn't going to be easy. Noted. Difficult in a lot of ways, I assume. I guess that makes sense. The rising calm. Oh hey, Endwalker! I just looked back at my chat. A jigsaw puzzle. Welcome to the stream! I don't know what the achievement means though. The grade 8. Yeah, about the only bit when I hit the share button on my main character, I don't think I hit record long enough, like, to capture the last, like, I don't know, 10 minutes or something. And all I had on my my main character was this part right here, after he did the little song and everything. And I was trying the Gunbreaker glam too. I was like, Jesus Christ. That's why when I realized I'd fucked up, and I couldn't do the quest again. There's no way to do the event quest again. That's when I went back and recorded it as with my alt. I was like, fuck it, it's better than nothing. This is why we had Zera there. So yeah, this is all I had for my first time doing it. I was like, whoops. Yeah. It is what it is. Alright, well, that's pretty much it for that. Let's go back to, let's go back to this now. Let me close this off. There we go. Reset the desktop audio to its original so that, you know, you guys don't go, hold on. There we go. Reset it back to the original so that we don't, you know, you guys don't go deaf if I push one of these buttons.
Bruh, look at this dude.
Yeah, I know. I know, y'all are thinking this guy's still stalling. Still stalling for content. No. Thanks, Endwalker. I appreciate all the hype. Definitely very Pog champion to finally be here, yeah. But, yeah, so I wanted to show that last little letter that Naoki Yoshida put into the, you know, into the game in the event. And also briefly talk about something he said in the live letter that stuck with me when they first announced Endwalker, and he said it was, you know, the final end, the final chapter of the game before they start a whole new story, because they didn't expect the game to actually keep going as long as it did and get as popular as it did in recent years, right? So they were just like, shit, we gotta write new stuff. But, well, something neat, I'm not gonna play all the trailers, that will take like half an hour, we're already 18 minutes in. Something he mentioned during that last live letter where this wasn't a live letter, I think it was the fan festival where they announced Endwalker, and they released the lunar whale mount and all that stuff. He showed all the logos for all the different expansions that came before, so I'll do that right now. And he said that each one represented a time of day, essentially. So I thought this was really neat. So this one represents basically dawn. A new dawn after, you know, 1.0 went down in flames, basically. The dawn of a new era. It's a triumphant, you know, prelude music. And then Heaven's Word more or less represented midday, which it's about to be for me. So like, dawn, early morning was Realm Reborn, and then Heaven's Word represents midday. Look at where the lighting's coming from. You know, on my cam, it's right there. The center of the logo from the very top, exactly like midday. Did they plan this out this far ahead of time? Probably. It's called good writing when you have the beginning, middle, and end already planned out in general, and then fill in the details later. And then Stormblood represents sunset, the setting sun. The day is starting to end at this point. Hence the crimson hue. It's red. And, you know, I mentioned how prominent the sunset seemed to be, even in the trailer, you know. The whole trailer takes place at sunset, well, the part in Kugane at least, is all in sunset. The part at Ralder's Reach where the Warrior of Light is fighting against, you know, sparring with Lys, it's midday or... Oh, not really, but, you know, it's not sunset. And then finally, ear user warning. Yeah. This represents, of course they had to show the light on the sides because the whole theme of Shadowbringers was banishing excessive light and all that stuff, right? But the logo in and of itself, in the center of it, the night sky there, represents night. It's the end, basically. The end of the day. It's all coming to a close. And sure enough, like I said during my blind playthrough of Shadowbringers, like, it felt like things were starting to wrap up, like the story was starting to, sort of everything that's happened in the story so far, not just in Shadowbringers, was starting to converge to something. And all that. And so now finally, Endwalker is, a new dawn. The beginning of a new era. But only after overcoming the final obstacle, which symbolically is the moon. See, I like how they did that. You see the sun rising on a new day in front of the planet there, Eidolon. But then the moon comes up and obstructs the light of the new dawn, the new era. Because it's not over yet, basically. They gotta wrap up, they gotta finish wrapping up the original story before starting something new off on the horizon over there. So I thought it was pretty neat. That's kind of how I interpreted this title screen, but for the most part, what they did confirm was it's basically meant to represent a new dawn, just like Realm Reborn. The dawn of a new era. So I thought that was nice. And yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I'll go ahead and get my predictions out now, and then play the trailer one last time and comment on it before we finally dive in. Again, I won't go into too much detail this time because I already gave my predictions at the end of 5.3. So, to summarize, 2 years ago, my prediction was that... Again, this is just general. Heidelin was going to sacrifice herself in some way to save Heidelin, save the world, right? And save the people from dying. Or at least, you know, not everyone. Obviously, some people are obviously probably going to die, but... save everyone from dying in general, and then, you know, with the help of the Warrior of Light, they were going to, like, defeat Zodiark and Xenos and, you know, Fandaniel, yada yada. Very general, you know, classic hero saves the day kind of thing with the power of, with divine power like Heidelin's. And the rejoining was going to happen anyway, but Heidelin was going to find a way to, you know, through her sacrifice was going to, like, keep everybody from dying. Because, you know, the rejoining requires a bunch of calamities that kills a bunch of people. So, the worlds were going to be rejoined regardless. That was my theory. But that between the Warrior of Light, Heidelin, and the Scions, they were going to find a way to keep everybody alive through that. That was my prediction. Today, after replaying the entirety of FF14, my prediction hasn't changed too much. I still think that is a very valid possibility, that the world will become unsundered. It'll be rejoined, and all that stuff. And somehow we'll find a way to make sure not everyone fucking dies in the process. But part of me also wonders now, because we revisited that part with, well, I revisited, you know, my second playthrough of Shadowbringers. Everything they talked about with Azem, or Azem, however you pronounce his name. I don't want to say Azim, because that just sounds like the sun god of the Oranir, or whatever, from the Azim steppe. But maybe it's meant to be pronounced the same way. They mentioned the 14th seat of the Convocation of 14, the ones who summoned Zodiark. The guy his seat was, or their seat was Azem. They left. They were like, they weren't in support of that plan before they summoned Zodiark. They were like, no, that's not the right way. And then Vana and their followers, Vana being, you know, a nice name reference at least to the Ocuria from FF12 that wanted the fate of the world to be back in mankind's hands, not let gods control mankind's fate. Vana lamented that, and the others that decided to summon Heidelin to keep Zodiark in check, they lamented the fact that Azem didn't join them. So Azem didn't join either side, either faction. They weren't in support of summoning Zodiark or Heidelin, at least not directly, because they weren't there for that meeting. So it's implied that maybe they didn't fully agree with that either. I don't know. But then later they talked about the fact that Azem instead dedicated himself... Who was it? I forget how to say his actual name. Hyclothius, I think it was? Or Hyclodius. I think it was Hyclodius. I can't fucking remember. He said that instead Azem dedicated himself to adventuring around the world and, you know, meeting new people, making new friends, and helping people out from their woes. Helping and protecting people by himself or with the help of his comrades that he made along the way. Basically an adventure. He's basically describing an adventure like, you know, in FF14. A lot like your character, essentially, is what he was hinting at. And then he gives you Azem's soul crystal saying it's in its rightful place now, and yada yada. So that part makes me think another possibility for this is that the Warrior of Light, the main character, will probably instead find a way to forge a new path forward on their own, without the help of Heidelin or Zodiark, and maybe break free from both of them, since they're kind of, you know, they've been implying heavily that, well, they've said clearly they're both primals, right? And they're implying heavily that they both have their own agendas, and maybe Heidelin's is not the best for humanity. So maybe the Warrior of Light will break free from that and forge their own path, defying both Heidelin and Zodiark. That's kind of... I'm not sure if that's what they're getting at too. So those are the two possibilities, though, basically, in general. That's what I think is going to happen, but I don't know, obviously. I've never played it. And I think that's pretty much it, yeah. In either scenario, I think the rejoining is a huge possibility. But again, I don't know, so... Yeah, that's pretty much it. So again, trailer one last time and then we're going in. And if I remember anything else I wanted to say about my predictions, I'll say it, but I'm pretty much sure that was it. Because I wanted to keep it very general, of course. How the fuck am I going to know finer details? So, let's watch this one last time. Creative Business Unit 3. They've become their own official development studio. Yoshi P's team. Because that's the same logo that appears for the FF16 trailer now. Their own little sub-development studio in their Square Enix. They got people now, they got resources, they're big time. This almost looks like, it makes the warrior light look like an Ascian right here. The light of the planet Heidelin behind him as he walks across the moon. But it also makes him look like, you know, the old Convocation people. The dudes with the hoods and the masks that we saw in Amarot. Like when Emmett Silk and Elidibus briefly saw Azim when they looked at him. Right before you fight them. Both, actually.
The fabric of the star had begun to fray, its lands rent by tooth and claw.
This looks like it's in Lenosha. Upper Lenosha, or outer. I think it's outer Lenosha. Damn! Nah, it's where they introduced Sage, the newest healer class.
Alize! Are you alright?
I can look after myself, you know. And I've had enough of this rabble. Come on!
As the chaos spread, the star seemed doomed to unravel, and yet...
I see Estinian got himself a new partner dragon.
Those who stood in
It's not Tiamat.
of that fate.
I do hope Tiamat's alright. I don't know what became of her after.
This country trial.
Pipelin.
It's all or nothing.
He tied his hair back all nice and neat. Garlean ship on fire going down.
The stage is set, but will our hero deign to play their part?
That must be the big tower they were making at the end of Shadowbringers, right?
You took your time.
Or Death Unto Dawn, I should say.
The respite afforded this land was but fleeting. The end draweth nigh.
This must be Rajasthan, right? Based on, like, India? Kind of, loosely based on India in real life. And we have old Charlian. Finally we get to see it. God damn, it's beautiful. I assume we're coming here first. After what they said in Death Unto Dawn about, you know, riding a boat over here or something.
I knew it. This star still has secrets to tell. Take care, my friend.
We're gonna be betrayed by Heidelin, is what he's saying. She has her own agenda.
So,
No, I don't know.
Charlian would keep its
Obviously.
counsel while the world is lost to ruin.
It would. Come what may, we shall live on. We must.
Do as you must then, but we scions will fight until the heavens fall, until our last breath.
These fuckers won't tell us a damn thing. Basically, Charlian's like, no spoilers. And your soul is like, fuck you then. Oh look! It's the first Doom.
Dark.
The one we fought in Amarot.
Tolling the coming of the end.
The coolest looking fucking paladin glam so far. Just because of the cape, honestly. Nine fucking months. Alright, nothing else for it. If only we could have killed that thing from Amarot in one hit like that, right? The damn trailers always make us look weak. 9 fucking months. Jesus Christ. I can't believe I thought an entire marathon of all the Final Fantasy games. Of course, we took too damn long. I can't believe an entire marathon of, like, all the Final Fantasy games I actually naively thought we would finish in 2 months. Can you believe that shit? I'm over here thinking, yeah, if I start in October, it'll be done by December. Basically, anyone who heard me back then say that was like... yeah. I was wrong, alright? I suck at calculating time estimates and shit. It is what it is. Alright, let's get into it. No more stalling. Oh, hello there, Alice. Ladies. They're all back on... yeah, okay. 21 people. I gotta admit, I'm a little nervous. I always am when going into uncharted territory. I'm a little nervous. Not to mention all the hype buildup. Well, the hype buildup that I did for myself, you know? Going through this entire FF marathon. Make sure everything's... yeah, the audio's good. I want to have technical difficulties at the last minute. The dawn of a new day. Morning, Leon. Hope you're ready to tackle the day's events, because it's going to be a long one. 11:42 a.m. Holy shit, it's almost synced with my real life time, actually, right now. Nice. 34. Okay, 34. I'm going to memorize that. That's fine. Alright, let's get going. The next ship to sail. On my homeworld as well. Hoopo! I haven't spent much time on this. Alright, let's get going. So, last time we basically spent the day fucking around unlocking the Paladin quests, the Gladiator quests. Doing dick all, I suppose. Now we gotta catch up with everybody. Ladies? Whatever it is my father and Form are hiding, I'm determined to get to the bottom of it. Well, you and me both. Y'shtola too, I think. How is she sitting? She's got like both her hands on the chair. I've never seen somebody sit like that. Guessing she's just trying to like relax. Those who are brought within close proximity of the towers are tempered into serving Garlemald, then forced to summon lunar primals with ether drawn from the land. But even having understood this, we are yet to uncover what the Telathroi wish to achieve by all this. Are the towers purely for strategic advantage, or do they serve some other purpose? I'll talk to them last. I'll go check in with... Alright, nobody else is here, really. I have conveyed Lord Emmerich's wishes to Coltonet and the others. For the present, their role will be to facilitate communication between our allies and gather information on our enemy. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, so they're off doing recon. Oh, that makes this a lot faster and easier. Uh-huh. Not only do the members of the Forum intend to adhere to their long-standing policy of non-intervention, they made a point of sending Master Fortuno here to explicitly state that fact. Rather than simply refusing to involve themselves in our affairs, it would appear that they are actively trying to prevent us from meddling in theirs. Which brings up the question, are they going to let us just sail right in? Like it's nothing? That does, of course, make Kryle's mission of securing our entry into Charlian Nyon impossible. Exactly what I was just saying, yeah. But I am confident that she will find a way regardless. Alright. After the end of the Dragon Song War, I spent many a moon roaming. Kugane, Razatan, even Garlemald. But never Charlian. In all honesty, a nation populated entirely by bookish types like Alfino is not a place that appeals to me. Yeah, I figured it's not really your cup of tea. Much and more have we discovered of the Telathroi machinations since Dankred and I did return from Garlemald. Verily, their troops doth appear to have been tempered in much the same manner as those engaged in the construction of the towering edifice in the capital. When Ehrenwald tried to free the Amalja held in the tower, it triggered some sort of alarm, and the captives were killed instantly. As such, we have no choice but to leave them in the clutches of the Telathroi until a means of rescuing them has been found. In the meantime, the summoning of lunar primals will continue. Just as we must rely on the Grand Company of Eorzea to put down such entities and prevent any further abductions, so too do they rely on us to come through with our investigation. Sataro, I can't help but notice she didn't give us a new outfit for this expansion. She was like, fuck your new outfits, I got you a new ship, didn't I? The Bonanza. I have a feeling the journey to Charlian is going to be quite the test of your nerves, in more ways than one. You're fucking telling me I'm almost shaking right now, I'm pretty nervous. You'll miss this place while you're away, I just know it. Of course. But for now, the best thing you can do is get plenty of rest while we wait to hear from Cryo. Which will be in a few seconds, actually. Anybody in here? I doubt it. Dawn's respite. Nope. No one here. It's a great room to chill and relax in, though, I gotta say. Alright, let's get on with it. You got some news for us, Alfina? The next ship to sail. Horse Chestnut Weapon Coffer. A wooden chest containing a weapon, one whose size possibly exceeds the dimensions of its container. No shit, yeah. So this will be for gear that's... Well, with the Cripplurker gear I have for Paladin, it's probably not going to do much, but... Leon, do you have some time to talk? Sure. What's up, dude? I would like to gather everyone in Dawn for Spite and together assess the situation in which we find ourselves. Talk, friend. That's all we do. We talk. New music. Let us take stock of the facts, shall we? The crisis at hand began with the sudden appearance of ominous towers in a multitude of locations throughout the world. We have since learned that said structures were brought into being by an organization known as the Telathroi. Oh, we're getting a recap, I like it. That makes sense. You had to wait like 6 months for Endwalker after the last MSQ, so... The Telathroi stated purpose is to recreate the final days of eons past, an apocalyptic event that would result in the destruction of all we hold dear. Already have these towers of theirs been the cause of untold suffering. Countless innocents kidnapped and imprisoned, their faith perverted for primal summonings. Yep. And unless we find a way to deal with the corruptive aura surrounding the spires, we can't even get close enough to rescue anyone. Those shielded with the Blessing of Light seem able to resist being tempered at least. But after what happened to Ehrenwald and Fordola, we need to be very, very careful about how we proceed. Yet while these threats close to home are of paramount concern, we mustn't lose sight of the situation in Garlemald. What do you mean? As you know, the Talafroi are under the leadership of Fandaniel and one other delightful fellow, Xenos the Galvus, the Crown Prince and our dear friend. Yeah, don't remind me. To date, he's reclaimed his old body, murdered Emperor Varus, and plunged Garlemald into an even deeper pit of chaos. The capital has probably seen the worst of it. For a good while there, it saw the bloodiest fighting in the War of Succession, but that has since changed, and in troubling ways. Aye, during our reconnaissance, the air was not once rent by the barking of cannons or the cries of discord. It was an eerie fog of silence which did blanket that ruined city. The inhabitants appeared to have been tempered, and with nary a word spoken did they labor to transform the palace into a soaring edifice born of nightmares. Jesus. If they were indeed made thralls, it seems safe to assume that these events too were orchestrated by the Talafroi. What the hell happened to Nerva or whatever? An army of primals is awful enough, but in light of recent developments, I fear it is only the prelude to an even greater catastrophe. We need to devise a means to counter this threat, and quickly, before our allies are overwhelmed. We will find a way in Charlian, I am sure of it. Master Forsheno's comments regarding the final days were curious to say the least. The Forum knows more than it is letting on. Yeah. But they're like, no helping. Nopers. No helping. Oh god, that gave me a little headache. I shouldn't have done that. Sorry to interrupt. What's up? We've just received word from Mistress Cryle. She says that arrangements for your visit have been finalized. Oh shit! High-pass music! I heard this one in the Reaper storyline, but... You're to head to Limsa Laminsa and board the next ship bound for Charlian. There we go. And on arrival, present yourselves as associates of the students of Baldessian, come to assist with the Order's restoration. He wiggles his ears. The arrangements may be settled, but what of your thoughts? They must race at the prospect of returning home after so long. Yeah. I am eager to see it, of course. Of course. We should set off at once. Trying to hide his nervousness like me right now. To no avail. Then I'll accompany you to the docks. You need at least one person there to wave and cry and wish you a safe journey. Of course, yeah. Let's do it, bro. All the way to the end. Alpina's been our bro and our homie for, like, ever since Realm Reborn. He was with us when the Scions were all killed in the Waking Sands by Livia. And then the whole Crystal Braves thing. And then Heaven's Ward. Alpina's the homie. Safe journeys, and please do be careful. You too, Femi. Look after the place. I know it's going to be a bit lonely without everybody. You got drinks to keep you, you know, company, I guess. Off we go to Limsa. Oh, some hype-ass music, dude. Jesus. They really want to hype this up, don't they? Ah, Limsa. I will miss this place as well. Arcanist Guild, right? Yeah. I'm sure we'll be back in a jiffy, though. Ladies, gentlemen. shit, the whole posse's over here. Started from the bottom, now we're here. I never thought the day would come when I would be sailing home again. It always seemed so very far away. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Graha, for loosely echoing my sentiments. I never thought the day would come when I'd actually reach Endwalker, with that damn marathon I did. Sea travel can be tedious, but I don't mind it. It's a rare experience for most Guardians. Yeah, but don't you guys travel through the air? Isn't that already more nerve-wracking and... Well, I suppose it depends on the turbulence. But that also is different on the sea, so kind of the same thing, really. I shudder to think what manner of truth awaiteth us beyond the indigo deep. Still more do I dread the prospect of discussions long overdue. Yeah. Contrary to what you might think, this will be like going home for me as well. I may have learned how to survive in Limsa, but it was in Charlian where I was taught, quite relentlessly I might add, the skills to properly live. I don't know what he means by that. What a grim reason to bring you to Charlian. Not much to be done about it, I suppose, but I would have liked to give you the grand tour under happier circumstances. Yeah, me too. It's a shame. Though a part of me looks forward to returning home, I've not forgotten that my father stripped us of the privileges of our family name. I hope it doesn't cause trouble with the officials upon our arrival. Pistola? I might have lived in Master Matoya's cave for a good part of my life, but even for me, the thought of returning to Charlian is quite exciting. I can hardly imagine how it is for the others who lived most of their lives there. Well, Zatara? Everyone's here! Yeah, it's like Smash Ultimate! I know I said I was going to stop making that joke, but I can't help it, I'm sorry. Which is good, because I've already paid for your passage, and the fee is non-refundable. Oh god, I hate that. The ship for Charlian should be pulling into port soon, so please follow me and have all your luggage close at hand. Dude, I can't imagine day one, there was probably... I think I did see it too. There was an enormous crowd of people just right here. Everyone trying to do MSQ at the same time. Everyone stuck in cutscene and everything. Oh look, it's just like the Limsa Lamensa intro from Reborn. Same music and everything. It all comes full circle. Hey, it's what's her name? From the Road Quests.
They've almost finished loading our cargo. We should be ready to depart right on schedule. Or so I'm told.
Excellent. 'Tis nice to have a smooth beginning to one's journey, at the very least.
It's funny. Master Louis Soir came here on a ship very much like this one. And now, years later, the street urchin he befriended that day is bound for his mentor's homeland. With his mentor's grandchildren, no less.
Aye. 'Tis upon reflection that every twist of time's river and fate's whims are brought into sharp relief. Thou hast matured much in the intervening years. Wert thou not caught attempting to relieve Master Louisois of his purse scant moments after he made landfall upon this dock?
Oh, really? Now that's a tale I'd like to hear.
Me too. Trying to pickpocket him.
Will this be your first visit to Charlian, Sir Estinian? Sir Estinian?
Are we strangers newly met? Why this stiff formality?
I, merely meant it as a professional courtesy, since we are now colleagues in an official sense.
I'd rather you dispense with the sirs, especially in private company.
Damn.
Or I'll be forced to respond in kind, little Lord Alphino.
You've made your point, Estinian. painfully well.
Better.
Damn, he's like, fuck the formalities, we're bros, aren't we? Start acting like it.
Are you alright, Tataru? You seem positively distraught.
There's a bad feeling in her gut.
Distraught? Me? Don't be silly. I think it's lovely that they get to see their homeland.
Maybe she said she can't come with us.
It's just... we're trying to thwart the schemes of an army hellbent on destroying the world. And, once again, I have to stay behind and worry that this is the last time I'll get to see my friends.
I'll bring them back safe and sound. I promise.
I'll hold you to that.
Come on, when have I ever let you down, Tataru? Everything will be fine.
Good. You're still here.
Oh shit, it's the Coomer squad! Oh wait, no, it's just these two.
Hori! Kultine! What brings you all this way?
Almost thought we were gonna see Ainur and
We're
her
to assist
sister.
the Maelstrom and the Kobolds with a lunar primal operation, so we thought we'd see you off before heading to the tower. Flamine and the others wish you all a safe journey, and promise that they'll look after things here until you return. We will too, of course. Aye, we, your fellow Scions of the Seventh Dawn, will do our part to ensure the end of the world won't happen on our watch.
I'll hold you to that, Hori. Hold down the fort.
We're set to sail! All aboard for Charlian!
Can't wait to reach customs and immigration in Charlene and they strip us of all our weapons and shit or something, right?
It's time.
Then we must delay no longer. We will contact you the moment we learn aught of value. Wish us luck.
Have a safe journey, and please, please, be careful.
Cheers, Tataru. Stay safe.
And so you venture forth unto the unknown. A fate beyond the horizon that cannot be divined. A future undefined and in flux. In uncertain times, naught but the simplest words of wisdom will suffice. That which lives is destined to die. Love leads to loss. Every beginning has an end. Treasure every moment, every step of your descent. And there, in the depths where souls and stars rest, find your truth.
It's warped. That is very different from how it used to look. Thanks, Fandango. Fandango. You've left the sanctuary and entered the sanctuary. Well, we're already here then. Oh shit. 1.0 / Realm Reborn all over again. Literally the Limsa intro.
Feel.
The day has barely dawned, my fellow earlier riser.
You can get proper bunks and beds.
Though we're hardly alone in that. Envious of those still sleeping soundly, no doubt.
Yeah, they're gonna wake up with back issues with that shit. Mostly here on the fucking neck. The back of the neck, you know?
Called out to you, you say? I've heard nothing myself.
Wasn't Heidelin's voice as I remember it, but it was a voice.
In any case, I dare say the sea air will do you good. Why not join the others on deck? Charlian should be coming into view at any moment.
It's her again. Whoever she is. She the one I heard?
My voice yet reaches you. I am glad. Hear, feel, think. And thus do we meet face to face at last, my warrior of light, guided by the crystal.
Again. Why now, Heidelin? After so long of silence.
After your sojourn in the First, I believe you have your answer.
Yeah, I guess I do.
You have gained an understanding of what I truly am, what Heidelin has always been, a primal. Zodiac was created to forestall the apocalypse which threatened the ancient world, and I was brought forth to bind him. Yet 7 times now, those who would orchestrate a return to that bygone era have rejoined a shard to the god I had sundered. The greater his strength grows, the swifter does mine own diminish. The power to draw your mind into the rift betwixt is no longer mine to wield. Yet though it taxes me sorely, I dare not leave these words unsaid. Even bereft of my guidance, you and your companions have accepted the burden of this star's troubled past. A conjunction has begun to form, an intertwining of your time and mine. Wheels shudder and turn. Conflict looms. Monumental. Which will decide the fate of this world and all life upon it. When you truly understand what is at stake, and your journey has prepared you to surmount the insurmountable, then shall I honor the promise made in another time, another age.
Cast your peepers to the fore, folks. Charlian's just over yonder.
I will not keep you further. Your traveler's heart must yearn to behold this unfamiliar land.
You know me all too well.
We shall meet again, and soon.
Oh, what a fine morning. Still a bit stiff though.
And a good morning to you too. Taking a look at the island already?
Just busy doing other stuff.
Then let's go. Let's go. Might still be room in the prow if we're lucky.
Prow? That part of a ship I don't know? Of a boat that I don't know or something?
Ah, the sleepers have arisen. There she is. Good old Charlian.
Oh, I see it.
Home. Home at last. Well, maybe not in Father's eyes. But we'll manage on our own, if we must.
You're cut off from their trust fund.
You do know you're not alone in this, don't you?
Indeed, 'tis as Sir Estinian saith. Forget not the comrades who boarded this ship at your side, I prithee.
Keep saying goodbye, man. Remember us?
Thank you, my friends. We are ever grateful for your steadfast support.
Upon arrival, we will be disembarking into the heart of Charlian proper. There is no greater concentration of wisdom in all the world. I am confident that somewhere within that center of knowledge and learning, we will find the answers we seek.
Let's do it. We're all family here. Do the Fast and Furious memes. Family. But seriously though. The moon is now more detailed than ever.
Charlian, the solitary island nation of the northern seas. Where under the watchful gaze of Foliac, patron deity of scholars, academics hoard all manner of knowledge and secrets. Once, they deigned to accept foreign students into a distant colony maintained in the Dravanian hinterlands. How swiftly they abandoned it once the first Garlean boot set hostile foot on Alamegan soil. So averse to the prosecution of war, these men of wisdom, your would-be allies.
The northern empty. Old Charlian.
I thought they'd never let us off the ship. What's next then? Entry applications?
That's how customs are, man.
Hopefully they find no cause to deny us.
Hasn't Charlian all but severed relations with foreign powers? Those of us without direct ties, myself included, may be refused outright.
'Tis true that, As a nation, Sharlayan only forms trade agreements with a select few neutral countries. But from a practical standpoint, an island cannot afford to be overly strict with its borders. Especially not if that island's people are wholly devoted to the accumulation of knowledge. If one submits the proper paperwork, with satisfactory evidence of identity and intent, then foreigners may be granted entry.
May.
Quite. So let us be absolutely clear on these points before we proceed. The immigration officer will ask for your affiliation and your purpose of visit. Considering Sharlayan's views on intervention, I strongly suggest we avoid any mention of the Scions.
Yeah, immigration customs is always the
Crown
nerve-wracking.
has laid the groundwork for us to act as associates of the students of Baldessian, and our ostensible reason for being here is to aid in their order's restoration. Grahatir, it might expedite our progress should an actual student be seen at the head of our little group. Would you mind leading the way?
Of course. The immigration officers were this way, as I recall. Shall we?
I assume there's only one way to go. I mean, they're not going to just let you stroll in without going through immigrations and customs.
Greetings. We've just arrived and are eager to make our way into the city. Would you be so kind as to process our entry applications?
Certainly. I see by your mark you are an Archon.
I am. Grahatir of the Students of Baldessian at your service. I was assigned to an Eorzean survey team, but have returned to assist with the reformation of my order. My associates here will provide additional support.
Very good. I have paperwork detailing your group and its scheduled arrival for today. And it seems some few of your companions are also Archons. If you'll step forward, we can process those applications first.
Ishtola rule.
And got the last name right. I saw somebody cosplaying as Yustola in Balmung last night. Shortly after I logged out, I logged back in to fix up some last-minute preparations.
See how it glows. That list is etherically linked with the citizen registry kept in the main repository.
I'll share the picture in a second.
I've confirmed your status as Archons and amended your travel records accordingly. Welcome home.
They do it by magic, of course.
Now, who do we have here?
Alphino Leveilleur.
And Alize Leveilleur.
Oh, their last names. People shake.
Your applications have also been approved. Having said that, the streets are abuzz with talk of how House Leveilleur's lord disowned his young progeny.
Fucking hell.
And while such personal circumstances constitute no reason to deny you entry, I urge you to avoid exacerbating your present situation. Times are quite troubled enough already.
We shall keep that in mind.
These last two are not Sharlayan natives, but you will find their credentials are in order. An application was made in advance.
Name and occupation?
Oh, fuck, I hate when they ask me this. Yeah, let's just blow the whistle right now. Champion of Eorzea. Artisan? Fuck it. I'll just go with the most honest answer that hopefully doesn't give us away. Neon Starcrest, adventurer by trade. Here we go.
An adventurer. Well, I suppose that is considered a valid calling in your native Eorzea. And it does indeed match the profile provided. You may enter.
Haha, hell yeah, we're in.
And you, sir?
Estinian Valino, formerly of the Order of the Knights Dragoon in Ishgard.
Formerly, at least. And what, pray tell, is your profession now?
Oh, fuck, here we go again. Think, man, think!
Wait till you see the. No, 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 no.
If you'll allow me. My associate is a mercenary, hired for his strength at arms. Surely you are aware of the dangers we often face on our forays into the wilderness.
Mistress Baldessian, if you insist on sponsoring his entry, then so be it. But while I appreciate that desperate times call for desperate measures, I find your choice of company concerning. Be advised that even a single misstep may have severe repercussions for your organization.
I have every confidence in my chosen company, dear and trusted comrades that they are. But I thank you for your concern.
Croyle! It is good to see you.
Likewise. Long voyage notwithstanding, you will seem none the worse for wear. There is much to discuss, but this is hardly the place. Let's be on our way, shall we?
Again. Whew.
Oh!
Oh, now what?
Welcome, friends, to Sharlayan.
I wasn't sure what the hell she was gonna say, but okay. Thanks, Kyle. Happy to be here.
As your mercenary, I should hope my welcome includes a generous salary.
I had to say something, Sir Taciturn.
Sir Taciturn. I think I finally have to look up what the hell that means. There you are. I knew I was gonna see you, Crimson. The next ship to sail. Where's the wave? Reading. Oh, right. I don't have the funky wave. Nice, you have the paladin gear. Cape and everything. I like it. Good shit. Oh yeah, here, check this out. Remember that macro you helped me make a long time ago? Whew. Oh, the turning in of the first quest. I guess I should change job classes now so I can get EXP for it. Thank you very much for the welcome, Crimson. I appreciate it. This place is beautiful so far. You know, it really reminds me of... Hold on, I talked to him too early. This really reminds me of, what's it called? When we first arrived in Altissia in Final Fantasy 15. It's 100% reminiscent of when we first got to Altissia. It's crazy. Like, it's just as beautiful in its own way. Different architecture style or whatever, but the music and the atmosphere is very pleasant right now. unaccustomed to fabricating lies on demand. Why should it matter how I earn my living? That's what I want to know! These customs bastards, man. Then whatever you answer, they always turn to look at you sharply with some, like, this shady-ass look, like, you lying to me? Are you a drug dealer? Customs guys are scary, what can I say? Stone face, they're just like... Alright, go ahead. Let's just stare at you with the poker face. I know why they have to, but still, it's just so unnerving. Here we are at last. The great city of Charlian. You may have noticed some similarities with the Crystarium, yes? In fact, Oh, but we really should let Kyle have her say first. We can continue this conversation at another time. Alright. You still look? You are doubtless eager to take in the sights. Yeah, this place looks beautiful so far. Not to worry, Leon. The city is not like to vanish before we finish our discussion. Alright. Even allowing that the years I spent in the first passed here in the blink of an eye, the city feels untouched by time. Allow me to extend unto thee my warmest welcome, Leon. May the wisdom of my homeland aid us in our endeavors. Yeah, we'll see. God damn, dude. Fucking targeting system. I'm fine, honestly. Better to be waved through with a stern warning than be denied entry, after all. That's true, as scary as it is, yeah. That was about as awkward as expected. Still, we're here now, and that's all that matters. Indeed. Alright. Don't want to miss out on EXP for this, so... Oh, shit! Yeah, you thought I was going to use the glam from yesterday. You thought wrong. I made a whole new glam just for this. Where's the, Why am I missing one there? What the hell was I going to put there? Battle Saints? That's cool! Damn. I look fucking good. This is traveling attire, alright. Alright, let's put the weapon away before we get fucking expelled from the goddamn city. Hey, there's the moon again. We get thrown out. Anyway. Yeah, I got the blood sword from the gold saucer. I had to. It looks fucking cool, and it's a reference to FF Tactic where the blood sword made its debut, you know? Alright, Kyle, what's up? I'm glad I spotted your ship coming into port. The officers are born bureaucrats and sticklers for detail. In any case, you may relax and take a moment to get your land legs back. Alright. Yeah, because you start off, like, kind of... Sweet! What's the next one? Old Charlian, new to you. Alright, BRB, gonna use the restroom real quick. I like the music though, this really reminds me of Altisha a lot right now. Alright, I'm back. Here's one of the things that worries me about, things being kind of reminiscent of Altissia and FF15. Beautiful as that place was, and as amazing as the atmosphere and everything was, that was literally the calm before the storm. That was right before everything went to complete shit for all of our main characters. Our main posse there. Like, we arrived in Altissia, and then the fucking, you know, the summoning of Leviathan and the Niflheim Empire attacking and everything, you know, fucking Lunar Freya dies. Everything. Like, everything goes to shit right after that. But let's hope this doesn't go that way, yeah? I don't want to think this is going to be just as ominous. Old Charlian, new to you. Carl sweeps the scions with a speculative look. What's up, Carl? It's gone. Oh my god, the water looks beautiful at this time. Look at it. It's like a light blue hue. I had thought to launch directly into an explanation of what I've learned and how we might proceed. Okay. But this is Leon and Estinian's first time in Charlian, and for the rest of you, a homecoming that was long overdue. We must have places... Yeah, you must have places you wish to visit and people you're dying to see. Therefore, I propose we postpone our agenda so that you all may have sufficient time to recover from your journey and get your bearings in the city. Once you've settled in, we can reconvene at the Baldessian Annex. How does that sound? It's a fine suggestion. We may not be welcome at the Levier estate as such, but I should like to nose around the neighborhood all the same. I am equally untethered, as it were. There is no particular place that my kin call home. Still, I would not pass up the opportunity to reacquaint myself with the city. Likewise, a quick tour of our old haunts might even yield some useful gossip. The Annex was west of the Etheride Plaza, wasn't it? I shall join you there anon. Yes, we'll see you there. Even the style of music with the acoustic guitar and everything really reminds me of FF15 now. I too have places I would be remiss in not visiting forthwith. By thy leave. And what of you, Estinian? My services as guide are yours for the asking. Really? Why do you want to escort him so bad, Kryle? That won't be necessary. Until we reconvene, I prefer to wander as the wind takes me. So I'm just gonna wander aimlessly. But I could... Oh. Poor Kryle. She tried. She tried. She's like, damn, guess I'm not in. I don't think she's gonna give up that soon, though. Her and Titaru. They obviously have a thing for Estinian. Obviously. Well, Raha, would you like to join us then? You've been gone for quite a while, and this would be the perfect way to refresh those dusty old memories of yours. Oh, of course, if you will have me. Come, Leon. Charlian awaits. I could ask for no one better to be my company, I guess. When exploring this new place. Should be fun. Proud? Oh dear. His enthusiasm is infectious, isn't it? Ugraha? Yeah. A cool guy. After you, my friend. I am more than content to follow your lead. Grahati is now accompanying you. Keep him at your side in order to proceed with quest objectives. In the event you use the Ethernet, Grahatia will catch up to you so long as you remain in the same area. You can leave Grahatia behind, however, by entering a different area. You may also speak to him and select the option to part ways. If you wish to have Grahatia accompany you again, return and speak with him at the original location. While Grahatia is accompanying you, next try speaking with Kryle. I remember how this went during the Christmas event. Do not forget Mistress Kryl, our worthy guide. Of course. All set? Then let us be on our way. Our first stop, amusingly enough, will be the last stand. It's a nice name. It's a cafe on the west side of the harbor. Kryl is also now accompanying me. Lead your 2 companions to the last stand and speak with Kryl at the designated location. While you are accompanied, you may encounter conversation points along the way, which offer additional topics of discussion. Excuse me. Enter the glowing area and speak with your quest companion to initiate these bonus conversations. Enjoy exploring your surroundings together. But now it's actually like FF15 and FF8, where your party members are literally following you around. Come on, let's head to the cafe. It may not seem so at a glance, but the last stand is actually a very important part of the city. I'm grateful to have Kryl's help in reacquainting myself with this place. It's almost as if I'm seeing it all with new eyes, as you are. Well, let's go, posse. They're not gonna follow me single file like an FF... Are they? No, not really. Okay. They're just pathfinding. Wait. Oh, that's how you see those. Okay. I was like, where are the optional areas? Chat bubbles. Gotcha. Alright. Now what? Discuss the storage facility. Is that what this is? With all the unusual wares coming and going at all hours, I expect the assistance of an intrepid adventurer would be highly appreciated. See no reason why you couldn't undertake any tasks which pique your interest. You have been cleared by the immigration officials, after all. I look forward to the day your name is celebrated in Charlian the same way it is in yours here. This place is called the Peristyle, and it is the first stop for cargo unloaded at the docks. You'll find the usual necessities for daily living and other imports vital to running an island nation, but also supplies that further Charlian's pursuit of knowledge, namely large quantities of books, specimens, and samples. Sorting these stacks certainly seems to get the attendants busy. I guess that's it. See the other place. And so it begins. Guild ship hunt board. How many spots are there? 7. Not a humongous town. The Levaure Estate. That's where they fucking live, or used to. Journey's End. What's with these ominous fucking names? Wamim? He's literally a meme! He or she, I don't know. Discuss the giant statue in the harbor. Which one? I'm probably facing away from it. Now that is a sight one can hardly forget. The great statue of Foliac. As a student of Baldessian, I was usually quartered on the Isle of Val, but I would gaze upon the scholar's wise features every time I returned by ship to the city. Wow. Shitty weather, but cool statue anyway. Shitty weather for, you know, getting a tour of the city, but beggars can't be choosers. Discuss the giant statue in the harbor. This path leading out towards the sea is known as the Foliac Stone, so named for the statue of the scholar which stands at its end. As you know, the Charlian people prize the accumulation of wisdom above all else. Thus, when Foliac was chosen as our patron deity, it was more a matter of pragmatism than belief. An alignment of principles, as it were. We may have honored him with a rather impressive sculpture, yes, but our faith is not so restrictive as that of, say, the Asgardians. Individual Charlians can, and do, worship the divinities of their choosing. Well, that's kind of cool. Whoa. Hold on, that just caught my curiosity. I love tunnels like this. They can keep up. Damn, of course we can't go in. I figured, yeah. It seemed, I just read your message, Crimson. It seemed like that would have been, like, I literally thought about getting the tour of, Ishgard. And was like, they probably wanted to do this back then. Especially because most of Heavensward takes you on a journey with your three companions. You know, Estinian and Izael and Alpino. Yo, can I get some food? It looks like a cafe or something. Nothing beats a fresh brew from the last stand. Oh, okay, so it is, I think. Ah yes, the last stand. Now that is an inviting aroma. I could smell it from here in real life. I was like, dude, I bet that smells like a nice, you know, nice little cafe or something. Some pastries and coffee. I don't drink coffee, but I will drink it with, like, I will eat with milk or something. And here we are, the last stand. I may have mentioned this before, but although our research into nutrition and food preparation is quite extensive, the average Charlian tends to regard seasoning and flavor with a certain indifference. They eat just to sustain themselves, right? They're not about, like, glamorizing it or whatever. It's just a means of sustenance, like robots. They're just like, alright, let's eat and let's get back to studying, yeah. How can I put this? The food is, it's bland. As encapsulated by our infamous Archon loaf, I remember that. The prevailing sentiment towards cuisine is dietary value first and taste a distant second. Yep, I remember. There was one pupil at the studium, however, who could stomach the school's who could stomach the school's insipid meals no longer. So he quit his lessons and poured all his savings into building a proper eatery. And so the last stand came to be. I get the name now. It is, as the name implies, the sole dedicated outpost of fine dining in Charlian. The one and only bastion of the culinary arts in an isle of otherwise mediocre fare. I get it now, yeah. The name makes perfect sense. I seem to recall their burger being hailed as one of the more impressive items on the menu. Not that I ever had the pleasure of eating one myself. Because you were a typical Charlian when it came to cheap and convenient, Raha. But surely Tataru has since taught you how to appreciate a well-prepared dish. We should all stop in when time permits and sample the cafe's delights. Shall we press on? The stairs to the side of the cafe there will take us up to the Etheride Plaza. Alright. Anything else? The students of Baldessian would send us to investigate phenomena and locations across the world, so our funds were always stretched thin. And any spare coin I had went to books that caught my eye. Food was the least of my concerns. Though now, having lived through some rather harrowing times, I've learned what a fortunate thing it is to be able to eat your fill. Yeah. On to the Etheride Plaza we go! We just need to head up the stairs next to the last stand. No optional areas here. Oh my god. This is beautiful. I have to zoom out to see this. Old Charlian Etheride Plaza. Can I tune to it now, or should I talk to the... Oh, let's do this first, fuck it. Get the intro for the place, right? The Etheride looks different from how I remember it. It's a new design? Again, the Charlian logo looks just like the one we saw at what was it? Anamnesis Annex, right? That optional dungeon in the first, at the end of Shadowbringers? So there's a connection between Amaroth and Charlian, that's for sure. That's what I learned that day. An unusual shape, isn't it? I assure you, however, that it's a perfectly functioning Etherite. Remember to attune yourself before we move on. Now, Being the diligent tour guide that I am, I should make mention of the Confluence, a research facility located on this very plaza. Its much vaunted discoveries are the reason Charlene stands at the forefront of teleportation technology. Wow, really? In deciphering the underlying principles of Alagan Etherites, it allowed us to understand and reconstruct what was essentially a lost art. And off we go to our next destination. Our path leads northeast to the Agora, Charlene's largest marketplace. Of course. Damn. I'll have to override an old one now. Well, I guess for now, I can overwrite the latest one, the Crystarium, I suppose. It's a tough decision, but or maybe Limsa for a while. I don't fucking know. I'll go with the Crystarium, fuck it. Big ass Etherite. Massive. Oh shit, we got new optional chat bubbles. Alright. Can't imagine how packed this probably was on day one. The frame rate was probably garbage. Discuss the Confluence. That's the entrance to the Confluence. I have no doubt their expertise will prove useful at some point, so I suggest you remember the way here. Pretty easy with the big ass Etheride Plaza right there. Speaking of Etherites, those teleportation fees do add up after a while, which is why I intended to rely on the far cheaper ferry services. I was pleasantly surprised when Mistress Sataru informed me that the Scions are reimbursed for transportation costs as part of our duties, but I find old habits hard to break. That, and I'd rather not be bothered filling out the necessary paperwork. What's the other option? Oh, part ways. Okay. The Confluence. Is that a player or? Oh, it is. It's so big. That's what she said, right? I know, I know. These little open-air bookstores are so uniquely Charlean. I'd always thought them a common sight until I visited other nations. Do you mind if I browse the shelves for a moment? There might be some hidden gems I've yet to read. Only a moment? How optimistic! Feel free to browse all you like, but we won't wait around for you. Well, that's why he asked us for a moment. Ah, perhaps I'll return here later then. Poor Gaha. Come on, man, we got all the time in the world, don't worry about it. Actually, we don't. Not with what Fandaniel and Xenos left us with, no. Oh, and that reminds me. It's a weird time to remember this, but, give me 1 second. It shouldn't be hard to find. This was just last night. Oh, not this. Where is it? Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, like I said, I actually found last night, as I was doing the last minute prep for today, I found somebody cosplaying as Yustola in Ul'dah. This was in Balmung in the quicksands. I left my in-room to do some last minute prep, and there she was. I was like, what? This cat girl photobombed the shit out of me! I don't know what the hell that YouTube link goes to, so I wouldn't, you're at your own risk. Where's the one with the name, though? Yeah, there it is. She put Yestoya Rule. Well, she replaced the L with an I. Just to, because obviously the full name is probably taken, But yeah, I was like, holy shit, it's a Yustola cosplayer. I can't believe that first picture, though. Oh my god. Of course, I got photobombed by some cat girl showing ass. That was not my intention. Anyway. Main scenario Endwalker 1. 4% in progress. More than 2 hours. Welcome to the Agora, where you can find wares made in Charlene as well as a wide selection of imported goods. They also used to sell questionable prototypes from the various research institutes, but I think that practice has thankfully died out. For the most part. Otherwise, I can think of no better place to stock up for your next big adventure. Am I overselling it? On a more serious note, the next stop on our tour is one which has particular relevance to our ultimate purpose here. We must head back to the Etheride Plaza, follow the path north, then climb the stairs up to that imposing building at the very top. Right on. It's a fascinating experience to walk around the city and contrast my image of the past with the reality of the present. I bet. So, back to the Etheride Plaza. Jumping over this because we're rebels. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Dollars. We're rebels. I say shit like that about myself and I can't even believe it. I'm just like...
Bruh, look at this dude.
What's going on here? I guess I don't have to draw them into the circle. Discuss the water features. These little decorative features are typical of Charlian architecture. Aside from the research wing, our headquarters on the Isle of Val were rather simple and rustic by comparison. This is a Nymphaeum, an area dedicated to the blessings of water. For Charlians, water represents more than a life-sustaining liquid. It is a reminder of the Great Flood, which precipitated the birth of our nation, as well as a symbol of the knowledge which flows from Foliac's divine ewer. This is the reason you see an abundance of fountains throughout the city, and a propensity for utilizing water as a decorative feature in our architecture. The River of Knowledge. And the Great Flood that preceded the establishing of this nation. Alright. Have I missed any Etherites? I guess I kind of missed that one, didn't I? I got that one, but yeah, when I went up I just attuned to that one. Alright, I'll teleport back and get that one, the Baldessian Annex. I'm too in awe of everything. It's a lot to take in. Holy shit, this view. Wow. I can't imagine how beautiful this will be from once we have proper daylight. Ah, what an invigorating breeze. A touch biting, perhaps, but pleasant nonetheless. This grand structure before you is the rostra. The name refers to the original public platform erected here upon which a forum of elected representatives would deliver orations and debate policy. Although the stage has since evolved into council chambers, the nature of the forum and the duties of its members remain largely unchanged. Am I boring you, Raha? You seem awfully distracted. My apologies. From here, one can see the entire city spread out below. Yeah, it's an amazing view. The vista put me in mind of my arrival in the first. Those who had gathered at the Crystal Tower asked me how they might go about building a new home. Naturally, my answers were all inspired by my knowledge of the finest settlement I could think of, the great city of Charlene. And bit by bit, those few buildings grew into a town, a community, a Crystarium. I can almost see its echo. I see. Excuse me, feel free to come up whenever you wish. I don't think the counselors... And again, I don't think the counselors would object to you simply enjoying the view. Such memories should be treasured. For now, however, the tour must go on. Our spectacle of sightseeing concludes with the fittingly named Journey's End. Walk down the stairs to the east and continue straight ahead. Alright, before we do that though, I'm gonna... Oh man, we're gonna get... That's gonna be good. I gotta go back for that Etheride I missed. They'll eventually catch up to me, right? Let's see how long it takes. Oh no, they come with you. Alright. Maybe it was different back when they first launched. You had to wait for them to come running, maybe? Now they teleport with you. That's good. There we go. Got that one. The Rostra, Dollar's Harbor, main Etherite, and then I guess yeah, go to the Rostra and then go that way. We're gonna get these two. God, I love the music too. It's so pleasant. You know, it's kind of nostalgic for me. It reminds me of a song from Sonic the Hedgehog 3, funnily enough. I don't know why. It brings back memories of Sonic 3 and Knuckles, you know? It's so weird. The composition reminds me of it. I like the little flute that plays it. This neighborhood is home to the highest echelons of Charlian society. I never did feel comfortable enough to wander these streets on a whim. Wow, it's that intimidating, huh? We've arrived at Journey's End. History tells us that this was where those who put ashore with Archon Mjolnir built their first homes. In the present day, it serves as the residential district for the most important officials and the oldest Charlian families. You'll see that one mansion is clearly larger than its neighbors. That estate belongs to our friends from House Leviure. All things considered, we should probably keep our distance for the time being. And with that, we bring our little Charlian tour to a close. I hope it has proven to be an entertaining and enlightening experience. Now, shall we head directly to the Baldessian Annex? You remember the way, don't you, Raha? Let me think. We head down towards the harbor, cross the bridge to our right, then follow the path below the Etheride Plaza? Correct. After you, Leon. Oh, I'll talk to them once we get to our destination. Actually, why not? Ah, the good old Annex. I used to bunk there whenever I had business in the city proper. Like the time I came to submit the thesis for my Archon qualification. Have I tired you out with all this walking? Not to worry, I had rooms prepared for you at the Annex. Just follow the path to the west side of the Etherite and we'll be there in no time. Oh sweet, I was wondering where we were going to stay. These Ethernet shards. Alright. Go down this way. This is the Leviure estate? Damn. The poor trust fund kids have been cut off. That really sucks though, being disowned like that. Jesus Christ. Can't believe their dad did that. Get me following the path all proper. Journey's End. Any comments about this place? Guess we'll find out in a sec. Right, we crossed this bridge here as I recall. Stick to the path and be careful not to end up back in the Etheride Plaza. I think we have to go through it though. Charlian is full of educational and research institutions, but there are still professors who prefer to establish their own private practices. Not that I ever attended the exclusive schools they run in these residences. Perhaps the twins could tell you more about them. Yeah, they probably know. Cool robe that guy has. Okay, so we were gonna get this one anyway. I kinda just thought I probably missed it. This is it, the Baldessian Annex. As the joyous look on Raha's face has undoubtedly informed you, this is the Baldessian Annex. If you continue up the hill, you will arrive on the doorstep of Phenomenon. But I think we've explored enough for one day. We can take you there another time. Inside with you then. Shit. No getting the last Ethernet shard, huh? Not until later. Ah, we're calling it a night then? Whew. Oh, shit. I'm back, and I brought Leon and Raha with me. Ah, you were right about the ship then. Hello, Raha. It's nice to see you again. And it's a pleasure to finally meet you, Leon. Oh my god, the music. Final Fantasy V! They're using the FF5 theme song, what the hell? Oh my god, this is amazing! Yeah, I was like, wait, I know this theme! It's one of the theme songs they play in Final Fantasy V. I don't know if it was the main one, but yeah, this is FF5. It's a pleasure to finally meet you, Leon. I've heard many a tale of your exploits. Ojika? Sunjika, there we go. Ojika Sunjika! It has been an age! Allow me to introduce Ojika Sunjika, Administration Officer for the students of Valdesian. He oversees the day-to-day business of the Annex. You may recall meeting his cousin Ejika? Fuck. Of course they would tie Eureka into this. Sorry guys, we did not do that on stream, but yes. Years ago, I did do that, you know, before I decided to start streaming anything, of course, so FF14. I did do, like, the first few quests of Eureka, and you do meet a character named Ejika that looks very similar. So they're cousins. Oh yes, Eureka. I read the initial reports. Quite a shock to hear what's become of the Isle. You take care if you have the opportunity to rejoin the expedition. This dialogue probably changes if you completed it as opposed to just starting it like me. Which, yeah, I've never completed it. And I might as well just say now, I plan to make it post-game, or post-marathon content. Which will still be like, kind of a weekly project as I play other games as well. Because it's going to take a long time. This place is like a second home for the students. The Isle of Val served as our main headquarters, of course, but we often had occasion to visit Charlian. And yeah, Eureka's basically the Isle of Val. It reappeared somewhere else. Like Lost, and there's a giant black smoke monster, and... Oh, I'm just kidding. I don't actually know. Whether to make use of the city's research facilities, attend conferences, or procure supplies from distant shores. And the annex here was built to provide lodgings for our members while we engage in such activities. Ever since our former headquarters, along with the Isle itself, vanished, the annex has served as our base of operations. And yet it feels so empty. With so many lost to us, our organization is a shell of its former self. Excuse me. The day will come when we will see the students rise again. But first, we must ensure that the Telophoroi fall. Tell him, Kryle. Through that door on the left there is the main hall, where we can discuss our options moving forward. But what's the reason for including Final Fantasy V music? Oh, right! I think Eureka gives... because she's a main character for Eureka. I think it gives some backstory on her, and from what I've heard, it includes backstory on her late grandfather, Galuf. Hence the FF5 tie-in. That's probably why they're using this music. Once everyone arrives, that is, you probably have time to rest before our discussions begin in earnest. Please, show me the way to my room. I've had private quarters prepared for you in the Andron, so please, feel free to make yourself at home. Ah, the nap rooms. Perfect for an afternoon doze. Ed reminiscing. Oh, I didn't mean to give you the wrong impression. The chambers are quite well appointed. Far more so than some cheap roadside inn, you may be assured. It was simply that we were often so busy with research or exhausted from journeys abroad that we would slip into the Andron just to steal a few winks. Of course, the college life, right? And thus they became known amongst the students as nap rooms, even if many such naps might last well into the following morning. How it always goes. Just a few minutes, then it's the next day. You wake up and the whole day passed by and you like miss deadlines on appointments and assignments and shit, and you're just like, say the word and I'll be happy to show you to your chamber. Dun, 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 dun. Hopefully the others won't be too long in coming. I'll wait for you all in the main hall. I wish my shirt could be white, but you can't. You can only dye the whole thing. Like, it's not like the Gunbreaker one where you can make where the shirt's white and the rest is black. Unfortunately, I think the contrast is much needed. Too bad. Damn it, Square Enix, give us more options for customizing the dye of our glamour. But I do like the cropped jacket look. I've always said that. But I would like to make the shirt white underneath. Do you have papers pasted on the walls of your room? One. A poster. So it's not unusual for occupants to pin up notes or documents and such. Oh no, nothing like that. And then forget to take them when they went on their merry way. Sometimes it was quite deliberate though. You might see complaints addressed to other members or a thank you card for the engrossing literature someone left behind. Yeah, there you go. Beloved traditions. But I should know better than to dwell upon. If we are to create a future for the students of Baldessian and so many others, we must look to the days ahead. That's alright to reminisce on the past sometimes, Graha, don't worry about it. Main hall. What's this gonna look like? Oh shit! This is cool! Is this actually how you enter, like... Oh, wait a minute, this doesn't lead to the apartments, or the rooms, that's the other guy, right? I think it was optional to go there. Shit. Sorry, this is what happens when I play a new game. I get information overload, you know, I get overwhelmed. Do I talk to you then? Annex Administrator. Welcome back, Leon. Ready for a nap? Asked about the Andron. As Graha explained, the Andron's rooms were furnished for folks needing a break from all-night research or recently returned from expeditions. Like, the all-nighter, I don't know. All-nighter marathons of this game when this expansion first came out. I think there are some people who actually did 24-hour streams, or even if you're not a streamer, like people who played for 24 hours. I mean, it was a brand new patch and it was a big one. The students are used to seeing those walls plastered with articles and diagrams and personal messages, but I imagine it's quite a surprise for our newer guests. Why not take them down, you ask? Well, it's often the same people who stay in these chambers after all. And besides, when I see old notes written by friends who have since passed, it's comforting in a way, as if they're still here with us. Aww, yeah. Oh, and just to be clear, these are properly appointed bedrooms. Any mention of naps is not meant to dissuade you from getting a full night's sleep. Okay. Clean sheets and warm blankets await. Rest as long as you like. This is what I want to see. The northern empty, the Andron. This is my room? Oh shit! Holy shit, this is... It's like... It's grandiose, but also comfy at the same time. Like, it looks luxurious, but comfy. It's like small enough to still be cozy, you know? What? Etheride? I remember when we fought him, the first primal and trial we ever had. The very first one, yeah. The eclipsed sun in the background. The bowl of embers. Our very first trial, way back then. Brings back memories. Oh, this is a cool fucking sink. Little faucet and everything. What we got? Toy chest. Put on some music. I'm not actually gonna do that. Ah, my diary, the unending journey. This is cool. Oh my god, I love this. This is so cozy. Like, it's small enough to feel very cozy, but the architecture and the decorations also make it feel at the same time very luxurious. Luxurious but cozy. It's a really cool mix, I guess. Like, usually it doesn't go hand in hand. Usually something luxurious is like very big and has way too much open space, you know, to make you feel like luxury, like you have a lot of space to yourself. But this is just right. It's so cozy. There's Behemoth on that's from the intro cinematic for Realm Reborn. It's pretty neat. The Behemoth roaring in the north in Kurthus. The King Behemoth. What did I used to call him? Behemoth when I was a kid? Let us climb ladders, Square. The fuck? Wow, Jandalin gets a very fancy crystal bell in this place. Retainers. Right. Alright. Let's go. I gotta say real quick, I never got to comment on this because it was like an hour long, almost, intro. What Heidelin told us makes me lean even more so now towards the idea that she might sacrifice herself in some way for us. I think she said on the boat, where she told us that, like, once we've proven that we can surmount, like, you know, the very challenging trials ahead of us or whatever, she'll fulfill a promise that she made in a different age gone by. So I was like, maybe she is, maybe, you know, my initial prediction from a couple years ago before Endwalker came out might actually have something to it. But we'll see, we'll see. It's way too early to tell. They're not going to give away their hand that easily, that soon, I don't think. I expect this plot to take many twists and turns, so we'll see. God, this is so cool. It's a world map! There we are over there. Old Charlian. There's Arisia, as Asmund called it. Hey, Orzia. Yeah, Garlemald looks all warped now. It's not what it used to look like. That's how it looks like now that the Telophoroi took over. There's Ratatan, the Siren Song Sea, where they tried to kill us at the beginning of Stormblood. The ship graveyard or whatever, in the Siren Song Sea. Reminiscent of FF5's ship graveyard. There's Suzaku. Sugane. Doma. The Burn. Is that Dalmasca? That looks like it's... yeah, that's Rabanastra. So that's where it was, okay. Cool. Where's Marasidia supposed to be? I think it's supposed to be somewhere south. Probably not charted yet. Like somewhere further south off the map. I don't know. Feeling refreshed and alert? Yeah. It was a good nap. Our colleagues should be wandering in soon, so I suggest we stay here and wait for them to join us. Like they expect you to take a break and actually like log out of the game there. And come back later. You know. Because I mean it's been 2 hours. But come on. You expect an MMO player to stop here?
I was delayed.
Oh shit. Sorry for talking over you there, Oriange.
It's fine, Oriange. We're all here now. Let's get down to business then, shall we? Come what may, we must prevent the Telophoroi's plans from coming to fruition. At present, I see 2 paths for gathering the information which may aid us in achieving that goal. The first involves an investigation into the change which has come over Charlian, not to mention the recent inscrutable behavior of the Forum. As most of you know,
The 99 members of the Forum are elected from the general populace. This alone guarantees a plethora of opinion with regards to foreign policy. The bibliotheques, for example, are a group of conservatives which would have Sharlayan focus on recording history, while remaining entirely uninvolved in the making of it. And at the other extreme, we have advocates for proactive diplomacy and direct intervention. My grandfather Galef was one such member, as was Archon Louisois. Yet despite our diverse factions and philosophies, the recent vote to deny Eorzea's request for assistance was unanimous. Even more concerning was the fact that many cited other, more pressing duties as justification for their recalcitrance.
Fortuno's refusal in Gridania had those same undertones. 'Twas as if, having stared unblinking into the face of impending doom, he had simply turned away to pursue something more important. But what could that possibly be?
A mystery indeed, and one which I ask for your help to solve. Our future may depend on it. As for our second potential path, it concerns a request made directly to the students of Baldessian. Our organization was founded primarily to study strange and unexplained phenomena the world over. Mysterious relics and ruins, arcane disturbances, and so forth. Compared to our more isolationist Sharlayan colleagues, we have strong connections overseas, namely with scholars and academics who share our passion for the unknown. The request in question comes from one such acquaintance, Nidana, an alchemist residing in distant Favner. Her missive describes the sudden appearance of a tower, and the subsequent summoning of what I can only assume is a lunar primal. In response to this threat, the Satrap of Radzat-Han, the individual who governs the city-state, has instructed the alchemists to find a means to deal with the spire.
The artisans of that land are heirs to an ancient tradition, one rather unlike that of their Uldan counterparts. 'Tis possible, nay, probable, that they have gleaned truths unattainable by Eorzea or her Far Eastern allies.
They do, in fact, appear to have a strategy in mind, though it will require further research. To that end, they have requested an introduction to a capable warrior shielded by the blessing of light.
Hey!
Assuming we divide our forces to pursue both of Kral's lines of inquiry, then having you join the group heading to Thavnair would seem the obvious choice. But the investigation in Sharlayan is of vital importance as well. Equal, I think, to the Thavnarian one, given that the fate of the world may hinge on the results of both.
Here comes the crossroads, the fork in the road.
Yes, it is quite the quandary. Though it is a great imposition and an altogether too common one, our efforts would be more likely to succeed were you to lead the charge on both fronts.
Yeah, so now I gotta pick which one comes first, right? Here or Thavnair?
You are indeed our champion. As to which task to tackle first, we will defer to your decision. Let us
Fucking
next
called
decide
it.
how everyone else might best be assigned.
It's just like when we had to choose.
As for
well, hold on.
myself, I shall continue what I've begun in Sharlayan. I should also like to steal the services of an Archon or two.
And thereby gain access to a greater range of reading material. I will help with that.
Allow me to offer my assistance. I have some small amount of experience in the field of research.
Alice and I would also like to help, if you would have us.
anything to understand even a fraction of what our father and the Forum might be thinking.
Of course, the more the merrier.
Right. The rest of us will make the journey to Thavner. Thoughts? Objections?
I passed through Thavner on my way to infiltrate the Empire, and though I'm not qualified to give a guided tour, I did gain a sense of where things lie.
I'll be happy to have you along then. So for this group, it will be you, me, and Urianger.
Give me a moment afterwards, and I'll supply you with all the details of Nadana's request. Consider this hall our rendezvous point once our respective tasks are complete. May our investigations prove fruitful.
Yeah, it's just like when we had to pick between, you know, finding Alfino or Alize first. When we first got to the first, and the Crystal Exarch asked us to choose which path. It's a fork in the road. Old Charlian, new to you. Complete. My god, this quest was a long one just because of all the dialogue. Well, I didn't expect any less, honestly. It's the grand finale. It's gonna be bloated. I expect this to take at least a week. At least. Yep, here we go. Two choices. Of course, it recommends Charlian first. We're already here. Hitting the books. For Thavner bound. This is a really smart idea, honestly. Because this way it reduces congestion on day one. It gives you some freedom. Because, you know, RPGs are wont to allow some freedom, you know, in how you play the story and everything. They're supposed to allow some of that, right? But at the same time, in an MMO sense, it's a very good way to make sure not one area is congested by a shit ton of players, because you split them apart. Certain people will want to go one way first, and other people will go another way first, and then they later converge back together again. But at least that way, you know, you won't get into that message of, this area is too congested, please come back later, you know? It's actually a very good design choice when you think about gameplay elements in an MMO. Our tour of the city was a pleasant distraction. I feel more than ready now to tackle the challenges of the day. Sola? The process by which Forum members are elected is fair and equitable. Neither wealth nor social standing offers any advantages to a prospective candidate. But fairly elected or not, Master Matoya still found them all to be insufferable. And that's why she never came back, yeah. Ah, the Quotes of Bahamut. Dalamud. I see that. That's what that represents, yeah. If the Forum is intent on concealing its intentions, then a cursory investigation will avail us little, I suspect. We will need to dig deeper, and with the greatest of care. I still don't understand how the vote could be unanimous. What could possibly convince them all to turn their backs on Eorzea? Well, that's what we're here to find out. Start questioning these fools. Hitting the books. Carl is intent on uncovering the reason behind the Forum's inexplicable behavior. An unsettling change has come over Charlian, but together we will divine the underlying cause for the Forum's callousness. As I mentioned before, however, questioning the Counselors directly is a fruitless endeavor. They seem to have already come to a consensus as to what and how little they are willing to divulge. Which is why I began scouring Charlian's archive of historical records for any hint of a connection to the final days. Suffice it to say that progress has been slow. There are only so many dusty pages one can skim a day. But now that I have this band of willing reinforcements, the search should proceed all the swifter. Let us reconvene outside Nomenon. Wait. Yeah, Nomenon. Shall we? Nomenon. There we go. Exit the annex to the right and you'll find the archives on the western edge of the woods. Sweet. God, that is such a triumphant quest accepted song. I like it. Alright, see you guys later. What do they say real quick? Though I have read much on the subject of Ratatan, this visit shall be my first. It'll be interesting to see how the Honish mean to contend with the tower, different as their magical and technological disciplines are. So it's back to Thavner. Had I known earlier, I would have considered more suitable attire. Is it hot there or something? Because he seems to be wearing a lot, so I assume that's what he means. And so it begins. We now have side quests available. Yep. Here we go. Well, I said I was going to play this game thoroughly, and now I can actually, elaborate on what I meant by that. The way I played FF7 Remake, I did all the side quests. The way I played Realm Reborn, I did all the side quests as I was making my way through MSQ. The way I'm going to play this, I'm going to do all the side quests. So I said this is going to take a week at least. Yeah, and I can't promise, and I probably shouldn't recommend myself to even try, but I can't promise I'll actually read out all the dialogue for side quests, because my voice is going to be shot if I do that. And I won't have any left for MSQ dialogue, but that's a different hue than before. It's very bright now. Bright blue. They definitely changed it. It didn't used to glow like that before. When I looked up at it in Heavensward, it was a little dimmer. But yeah. I don't know if I'll voice everything for side quests. I'll probably do some of it, especially if it's interesting, but that is the plan. I will be doing all of them. All the yellow markers. In FF7 Remake, I think side quests were green markers. Same thing though. You've attuned yourself to all the infinite shards in Old Charlian. Let's at least make some progress on this one that we already accepted before moving on to side quests for a while. Which, my stream won't be that much longer anyway. Milady? Very attractive. Cat girl over there. My directions were easy enough to follow, I hope? In any case, you stand now before the doors of Numenon, Charlian's grandest collection of books and tomes. This building is actually only an entrance, and one of many at that. For the archives of Numenon extend deep beneath the surface like the roots of a tree. The vast halls of the Great Google Library pale in comparison to Numenon's endless maze of subterranean chambers. Well, that place was made after, so that makes sense. Any citizen of Charlian is free to enter and peruse its shelves. Well, most of its shelves. Only Archons are afforded access to certain restricted vaults. I've dispatched Justola and Raha to investigate those. Meanwhile, Alexei and Alpino will help me continue my search through the stacks open to the general public. Your status represents more of a problem. As a non-citizen, you are only permitted to browse the first floor here at the entrance. Even so, there should be a number of books which touch upon Charlian history or foreign policy. Your task will be to find and study the relevant publications. I promise you, a working knowledge of those subjects will make it far easier to spot the sort of clues we're looking for. Let us be about it, shall we? I've told the others to meet us at the stone benches over there once they've found some promising tome. Happy reading! Shit. Oh, here we go. Reading! Literally hitting the books. That scared the crap out of me. A little automaton. Well, we saw this place in the trailer. A little mammoth, I guess. Brightly colored book. Red covered book. Nice. Certain things stand out to Leon more than others. Alright. The title on the spine reads, The Story of Charlian. Read the book? It sounds like they wanted you to start this way. Sure, let's see. What do we got? Long, long ago, on an island in the northern sea, there lived a Rogadan man by the name of Nunkref. Okay. Nunkref was a student of astrology, and he divined that a flood of terrifying proportions would soon sweep over the lands of Eorzea. So it was that he built a gigantic ship, assembled a crew, and set sail for that imperiled realm. The flood arrived as foretold, and to their horror, the strangely churning waters drove the people toward the ocean. It was there, however, that Nunkref's crew hauled them aboard his ark, but the danger had not passed. A towering wave approached, threatening to smash the vessel to pieces. With only moments to spare, Nunkref wove a mighty spell of teleportation and shifted the entire ship to safety atop Abalathia's spine. Refugees from the surrounding regions huddled there alongside them, but it was not long before disputes over the dwindling supply of food led to violence and bloodshed. That's what scarcity causes, yes. Saddened by the sight, Nunkref gathered to him his crew and his grateful passengers and abandoned the ark to those reddened peaks. They journeyed to the coast, where they built a new ship, intent upon returning to the northern seas. Those reddened peaks. It's basically, isn't it supposed to be the ship that we saw in Alamigo that Lise told us about? The one that's still on top of one of the mountains, just sitting there? That's the boat, right? They landed on the beach of an island, and settled upon that very spot. That settlement prospered and grew, and in time it became the city of Sharlayan we live in to this day. Oh, this is why they're so adamantly against violence of any kind. That explains a lot. You can read it again. Okay. What do we have next? Roads of Old, the Colony. Many years ago, on the banks of the Foliac and the Dravanian hinterlands, a Sharlayan colony once thrived. The settlement was originally established as a mere outpost to study the ethereal sea in the year 1311 of the 6th Astral Era. Scholars dispatched to Eorzea found the facilities wanting, and their demands encouraged a gradual expansion in structures and services. As rumors spread of a growing community of academics, the area was further inundated with Eorzean students hoping to share in the renowned wisdom of the Sharlayans. 50 years later, the Forum passed a motion to recognize what had become a flourishing town as an official Sharlayan colony. Eorzean residents took to calling the colony itself Sharlayan, which led to no small amount of confusion when discussions turned to the subject of the motherland, of course. So this is Idleshire, basically. In response, some Sharlayan inhabitants, if pressed for a name, would simply refer to it as Emporium. Oh, never mind. Well, I guess later it became Idleshire. Following the Exodus, however, goblins and treasure hunters claimed for themselves a corner of the abandoned colony and gave it yet another name, Idleshire. There we go. The following chapters go on to introduce the most prominent features of Idleshire. This book does not appear to contain additional information on the Forum, or cover the history of the Sharlayan motherland in great detail. So it doesn't even count as the one of three. That first part though, let me see it again. To study the ethereal sea. Right before the calamity, the 6th Astral Era. Yeah. Oh. Those are just Sharlayans on an expedition, basically. They formed a little town there. That is now known as a reference page. Just to find something quickly. We apologize for the inconvenience, but the reference desk is currently experiencing an unusually high volume of requests. Please stand by until this issue is resolved. I bet every one of these objectives just had, like, crowds of people doing MSQ, like other players. I am definitely going to watch some streamers' first playthrough of this once I'm done with it. So, you know, no more spoilers for me at that point. Let's see what it was like on day one. Leatherbound tome. What do we got here? The title on the spine reads The Voice of a Growing City. Alright, what's up? In the years which followed the founding of Sharlayan, civic policy and other matters of import were decided at the Ecclesia, a public forum at which every citizen was eligible to speak. As the city's population grew, however, This format became increasingly impractical. The larger number of participants gave rise to ever longer debates, resulting in significant delays of vital resolutions. Various measures were introduced in an attempt to curtail protracted discussions, but in the year 201 of the Sixth Astral Era, it was ultimately decreed that Sharlayan would transition to a new form of governance. The nation would now be led by a body of 99 members, citizens chosen from amongst their peers by means of a nationwide vote. Thus was the forum as we know it today conceived and created. 99 people is very democratic, that's, yeah. Ecclesia. Blue covered book. Introduction to the Heavens. Have you ever gazed at the skies above and contemplated the mysteries contained therein? I speak not of shifting cloud patterns, but of the vastness beyond. Of the sun and the twinkling tapestry of the night. Some think the dome above us to be a finite space, yet amongst the leading thinkers of our age, one scholar's depiction of a boundless sea of stars has firmly taken root. Alas, this heavenly sea remains an unreachable, unknowable destination. There are few indeed who can explain in satisfactory detail why our own star is believed to revolve around the sun. Cue the flat earth argument, right? So they haven't figured out the math for it yet, or what? For how to triangulate proof or whatever, using trigonometry to prove that we are a round planet revolving around the sun? I suppose it's two distinct arguments or whatever, but I think it should go without saying though. Can you imagine the Earth instead being a coin rotating around the sun? That's absurd. There was a technologist of Alag who came closest to understanding the laws which govern that starry abyss. It was they who launched Dalamud and sought to expand beyond our earthbound existence. Did they put fucking cameras on it so they could actually look back and see, you know, how the planet was just round and going around the sun? Having read of their ancient ambitions, I wonder, has your interest in this field of study waxed or waned? What if I were to tell you that the eternal constellations were arranged differently in the distant past? That their positions continue to shift almost imperceptibly but measurably as we journey into the future? The ever-expanding universe, yeah. Would it shock you to learn that the stars drift further and further apart and may indeed do so forever? Are you eager to learn more? This book is on the wrong subject. Search for works which contain details on the forum or mention the history of Sharlayan. Oh, that was still interesting though. Astronomy is always an interesting topic. Well-worn manual. Forever 20 Summers. Forever 21 reference? My beloved seekers of knowledge, have you ever put learning before your health and neglected to feed and rest your body as you should? That does happen. Same with playing video games, but yeah. I too once engaged in such foolish practices. But one night, engrossed in philosophical study, I had an epiphany. For all the world's mysteries that drive us to reckless abandon, we have so very few years of life in which to achieve our goals. Thus do I share with you this mantra. I am forever 20 summers young. Which means what? The number itself is unimportant. You could be 19, or 23, or 40. Whatever age you are when you discover this manual, let that be the age you aspire to remain. Huh. I like that. Through mindful, healthy living, will you extend the time available to spend upon your chosen research? Another day, another moon, another summer to grasp the greater truths you pursue. This is very sound advice, I like it, yeah. And it's something I've already, I already tend to live by, which is my streams never go past, 2 to 4 hours. Or rarely do, anyway. I think I've only had a few handful of 8 to 9 hour streams. But yeah, it's because I take time to, try to eat well, work out, take care of myself. so I can actually enjoy what I'm doing, especially when streaming. Like, I hate staying up late because the next day I just feel like complete ass. Or eating too much shitty food, same thing. And then I can't enjoy this as well. I agree with this wholeheartedly. Mindful, healthy living. You get more time and higher quality life, too. For the greater truths you pursue, yes. In the pages that follow, we will explore the secrets of maintaining one's physical condition from a biological, etherological, and arcane viewpoint. But we only have to deal with one of those in real life. This book is on the wrong subject. Search for works which contain details on the forum or mention the history of Charlian. I'm grateful I read it anyway. What do we got here? Time-worn tome. Stewards of Wisdom. This is probably... During the chaos of the 6th Umbral Calamity, Archon Nyungkref, founder of Charlian, bore witness to the madness, and savagery of men brought to the brink of despair. Yeah, okay. Upon raising a settlement on an island in the northern Empty, he instructed his people thus. Renounce the ways of war, and pursue enlightenment through knowledge and reason. The Charlians took to heart the words of their savior, and thenceforth served as stewards of wisdom. Upon a foundation of accumulated learning, they built a homeland unlike any other. A nation born from strength of minds, rather than strength of arms. With knowledge of economics came shrewd trading. With knowledge of agriculture came bountiful crops. Engineering brought wells and sewers, ending squabbles over water. Yeah, imagine that. Using, wisdom and knowledge to create technology that makes our lives easier, better, and can eliminate scarcity. Who would have thought it? Eliminate relative scarcity, anyway. Enough to make people stop fighting over it. Wealth of expertise could be bartered for wealth and coin. And the more their wisdom spread throughout the world, the more mankind as a whole would thrive. I should think so. And so it was that no matter the trials and tribulations of the age, the citizens of Charlian would live by their founder's teachings. For the sake of a better tomorrow, for the sake of a brighter star, they would eschew the tools of war and with knowledge deliver the world. You've gained a fundamental understanding of Charlian history and the foundation of the forum. Head outside to the rendezvous point and await your companions. I was like, they better still let me read other books. I'm not done here. I don't think they'll let you. That's fucked up! Oh, maybe there weren't any on this side. Those ones are still, yeah. Never mind. I thought there were books over here that I didn't get to read. Never mind. I was like, am I gonna have to New Game Plus this shit to read the other books? It's like they wanted me to go counterclockwise the way I did. Which is just what I do because I favor my left for some reason. Even though I'm right-handed. Looking for materials on the Calamity of Fire. Do you know of any offhand? The Calamity of each element. That it lines up with what Emmet Stuff told us. The Great Flood being water, of course. So, the one with Bahamut, though. He's non-elemental, so... That tome, could it be? I'm looking for chat bubbles, essentially, from NPCs. Alright, I guess that's it. Let's get the hell out of here. 6 till 2 in the morning. Yay! A bright sunny day for once! Damn. Pretty much we're gonna have to stop streaming after we wrap this up right here. Sorry, were you waiting long? Not really. You're good. I wanted to make sure I'd borrowed at least a few promising volumes. Alpino and Kryl should also be along shortly. I was delayed in similar fashion. As far as I could see, no titles in the Archon stacks mentioned the final days specifically, so we have no choice but to start with the tangentially relevant tomes. If they are even that. At present, the plan is to skim through as quickly as we dare, and share our discoveries as we make them. It would have been nice to invite everyone to the estate. Plenty of comfortable places to read, and a ready supply of hot tea. Yeah. Great atmosphere for reading. Oh, I was always quite fond of reading outside. Oh, okay. He's got his preference. But it's not about the little pleasures, is it? You miss your home. It's been difficult. After our arrival, we managed to speak with one of the family servants and ask how things were. It seems our dear father has instructed the staff that even if Alfino and I were to return to Charlian, we were not to be allowed to cross the threshold. Damn, literally kicked out of their house. They're literally homeless. A harsh measure indeed. I hope that our efforts to understand his position and that of the Forum will perhaps lead to a reconciliation. We'll mend this rift one day. I'm sure of it. I'm certain of it. And what of you, Graha? Have you been to visit your family? Or do they not live here in the city? Ah, well, my situation is also somewhat complicated. I was raised in Charlian, yes, but I was born rather further away. Cue the FF3 theme music. The world map theme, anyway. Graha's theme. In the southern reaches of Ilsabard, in fact. For generations, my people have dwelt in Corvos, the coastal region opposite the island of Thavner. The Alogans founded a city in that fertile land, and by ship brought in the subjugated tribes of the Mikote to serve as laborers. Oh, I see. Mikote slaves. Of course, the massive earthquakes of the Fourth Umbral Calamity brought an end to the Empire's reign. So that was the Earth Elemental Calamity. And when the Fifth Calamity froze the seas solid, many of the tribes still living in Corvos braved the journey back to Eorzea. Calamity of Ice. My ancestors, however, chose to remain, that they might prevent the remnants of Alogan technology from being misused. Oh. Isn't Corvos under Garlean rule? For the past 50 years, yes. Some semblance of local culture remains, as is the case for most imperial provinces, but Garlemald renamed the region Locus Eminus. Oh, that place! When I was a boy, a nearby town came under the jurisdiction of an illustrious imperial facility. Or, imperial family, excuse me. The nobles of House Darnus. Oh, shit. House Darnus demonstrated a singular interest in Alogan civilization, and so my tribe was forced to consider a plan of action. For some time already, voices had been raised in favor of abandoning our ancient customs. After all, the Alogan Eye no longer passed to our eldest children as reliably as it once had. Fear of discovery eventually tipped the scales, and the decision was made to bury our ties to the knowledge and traditions of Allag. As the last child born with the Alogan Eye, I was given over to the custody of friends and the students of Baldessian who had me registered as a Charlian citizen, to keep them safe from the Empire. I never even considered. Forgive me, it was an unkind question. You didn't know. Even Thancred was taken in by Archon Louis Sois, was he not? Stories of adopted wives and... Wafs or wives? And rescued orphans are more common among Charlians than you might think. Yet regardless of our origins, we are all provided with an equal opportunity to learn. And with sufficient perspicacity, we outsiders can even earn the vaunted title of Archon. It's exactly why I have such love for this country, and why I wish it to remain a nation of which its citizens can be proud. Hear, hear! Another good reason to get to the bottom of the Forum's stubbornness, aside from the trifling matter of our impending doom. Yeah. Excuse us while we try to make some headway into these books, Leon. More company should be arriving any moment now. Wait at the designated location again. Reading a book. We both are. The books. There are others better suited to poring over old history books, so I thought I'd try my luck with more recent events. If I can find anything to better inform the forum's baffling behavior. Where else do I know of Corvus? Precious little, I am afraid. Or what else, sorry, do I know of Corvus? Precious little, I'm afraid. I've not returned since Master Gallus first brought me here. Oh wow, he's the one who brought you here. I can tell you that Corvosi rebels still seek to slip the yoke of their Imperial masters, though the fighting is far less fierce than it once was. Oh, and they have carpets. Flying carpets. The legends are quite extraordinary. Yo, that's fucking cool. Alright, now what? We wait. Again. Like my homie here. What's up, Prada? We've returned with our selections. Although I must say, the pickings were quite slim indeed. Mistress Kryle has already flicked through every history book devoted to disasters, and more than a few which barely made mention of them. As such, we will be looking into research papers on the Umbral calamities, as well as articles written by prominent forum members. Perhaps their knowledge of the final days comes from an unexpected source. Speaking of which, might I ask you a few questions related to the final days? Me? I'm the only one here who didn't witness the events of Amaroth firsthand, and fear I may be overlooking critical details. Alright, yeah, we'll tell you what Emmett Selk showed us. My thanks. Now, where to begin? I should just call him Hades, right? His real name? Hades, the most stalwart and duty-bound of the Greek gods. That explains why he was the way he was. First things first. What kind of phenomena did the ancients encounter as the final days drew nigh? Horrific creatures of their own design, their deepest fears brought to life, manifested through their creation magics, summoning. A complete destabilization of creation magics, yeah. Primals of unrivaled power were summoned from the ether, yep. Worst kind of phenomena you can imagine, yeah, all these are true. This, a complete destabilization of creation magics. Yes, the unfolding catastrophe wrought havoc on all manner of life. The chaos extended to the ancients themselves, causing their powers of creation to spiral out of control. Fear and despair manifested in terrible, tangible fashion, meteors raining from the sky, fire erupting from the ground, indescribable abominations prowling the streets. Yeah. That more or less aligns with my understanding. If only the arts of creation had survived until the present day, we might have had something substantial to analyze. Well, I'm pretty sure it's basically summoning. To the best of our knowledge, however, those techniques were not preserved or passed on. Istella surmises that the closest known magic is that of the summoning rituals promulgated by the Assassins. Yeah. Was there aught else of note which heralded the approach of the final days? No, that's not true. Yeah, this. They say it began with a keening sound from the land itself. Oddly enough. Ah, yes, the Amaratines spoke of it, didn't they? We never did hear this sound ourselves, of course, thrust as we were into the midst of the madness. But it seems that each and every one of the catastrophes was preceded by this ominous noise. Eventually it resounded all across the star, and not even Amaroth was spared. Yeah. It gradually made its way there. So the ground was crying out, you say? Starting to get flashbacks of FF7 when the planet literally cries out for help. To be considered the harbinger of doom, it must have been quite distinctive. And probably quite loud. Oh, and I forgot to say this before we started Endwalker. It might become relevant soon, so I might as well say it now. I feel like what we learned in some of the optional dungeons, well, the Anamnesis Anator, I think it was, or Academia, whichever one it was. I think it was Academia. I feel like La Habrea maybe had more to do with what happened than they're letting on right now. Because of the fact that, you know... Well, just go back and look at that video. I don't want to go into detail right now because I'm trying to stay focused on this. I don't know. Part of me feels like La Habrea might have had a hand in what happened, because maybe he wanted an excuse to summon Zodiac out of pure academic curiosity, maybe? Or want of power for some reason. I could be terribly wrong, though. It just felt that way from some of the clues we got from that one dungeon. Like, La Habrea had something to do with this. Like, he secretly plotted it to happen or something. But again, just conjecture. I don't know. Speculation. He might be completely innocent, for all we know. And it's probably very likely. I might be reading too much into it. But we'll see, we'll see. I'll have to speak with one of Nomanen's mammoths and ask after any books which make mention of such a sound. Last but not least, would you describe how the ancients sought to quell this unprecedented calamity? What definitive action did they take? They knocked Galamud from... You can act like a complete idiot. No, they summoned Zodiac. Yes, with Elidibus serving as his heart. So many gave themselves in sacrifice to bring him into being. We do not know exactly how Zodiac brought salvation to the star, only that by his godlike will were the laws of nature set aright. Yeah. Then, once the balance was redressed, the ancients offered up a further sacrifice to heal the ravages of the final days. Life sprouted anew, and it was these fledgling souls they intended to render unto Zodiac. A trade that would have allowed them to resurrect the shades of loved ones absorbed by the primal. So sacrifice newborns to bring back the old people who died summoning Zodiac, and yeah. I can see why that didn't sit well with certain people. And the ones who summoned Hydaelyn. Or might have, had Vana and her followers, so it's a she, okay, had Vana and her followers not manifested their opposition in the form of Hydaelyn. Vana was also implied to be a she in FF12, I think. Thank you, both of you, for the detailed review. I feel much more confident now in my understanding of events. With all that freshly in mind, it does make me wonder what the Telophoroi truly mean when they speak of bringing back the final days. We've seen what they're doing with those towers of theirs. Is forcing people to summon primals a kind of catalyst? Are they attempting to mirror the conditions caused by unstable creation magics? I think so. It sounds like it. Or are they simply using the final days as a figure of speech? That could be it too. A convenient metaphor for the scale of destruction they plan to unleash. But this is all just pointless conjecture at this stage. Let us return our attention to the forum, shall we? Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. We should keep an eye out for Y'shtola, but 'tis time we began studying these research papers. Indeed. It really is comforting to have all these dedicated assistants on hand. Right then, enough chatting, more reading. Oh, it's... yeah, hasn't changed the dialogue, right. Yeah, the same dialogue. Took me a minute, I was like, is that the same thing you said before? Yeah. Many forum members are also researchers or professors. And if they know aught of the final days, then that knowledge might surface in their writing. That is my hope, anyway. Well, I guess we wait again, then. I'm the last, am I? Well, my extended search of the Archon stacks produced one or two possibly useful books. But I wouldn't get your hopes up. If you recall, Urianger learned of the source's reflections from the Garen oracles. For its potential to cause panic and confusion, that tome was deemed apocrypha and sealed away in the Great Google Library. It is even less likely that knowledge of the unsundered world, not to mention the horrors of the final days, would be left sitting on a shelf for any curious scholar to find. It stands to reason, then, that my colleagues, be they archons or counselors, should perforce be largely ignorant of the subject. Yet when you confronted Master Fortuno with the knowledge of the Telophoroi and their machinations, he scoffed at the suggestion that they posed a threat. He seemed adamant that the Forum would know if the final days were truly upon us. Which only supports the conclusion that whatever privileged wisdom is guiding the Forum's behavior, it is being kept secret from the rest of the nation. Not that I mean to excuse myself from reading duty. Whether they contain mention of the final days or no, these books could yet hold something of value. You weren't thinking of leaving, were you? There's plenty of work for everyone. Leon's like, what? Damn. I have to read more books. You labor for what feels like an age as your Stola's research assistant. Basically. Ah, finally. I found naught of interest so far. I think your Stola might be right about not getting our hopes up. Stretching. And it's the animation. There we go. Graha? Your efforts to gain Graha Tia's attention go unnoticed. He appears to be lost in his reading. Good for him. Stola? Alright? Badass stack of books. Thank you for your help, but I think I can manage the rest without your assistance. If I were you, I'd steal a few quiet moments for myself. Sure. Kyle? Oh dear, you look exhausted. But what about your studies? Were you able to find any books on the subjects I mentioned? Well, yeah. In the library, yeah. Then the day was well spent. Should you wish to read them again, the Mammoth at the reference desk will point you in the right direction. Oh, cool. We can go back to read whenever. For the moment, though, I suggest you take a well-deserved rest. We might be occupied with our research for quite some time. And that's exactly what I plan on doing. Thank you very much, Cryle. I like how the game actually recommends you to take a break. Well, I did find one paper focused on the world before the advent of the first Umbral Calamity, but it reads more like a work of fanciful fiction than an actual academic supposition. Okay. Alright, cool. What's the next quest called? A seat at the last stand. We're gonna go eat! That's cool, but I need to take a rest, like they said. Where the hell's the goddamn... This is the annex, right? Yeah. I'm gonna walk there because I'm still taking all this in. It's amazing. The music and everything is just so beautiful here. I also enjoyed very much how Heidelin was, you know, after she told us what she wanted to say, she was like, I bet you're, you know, I should leave you be so, you know, you can get your bearings or whatever, and, you know, pull yourself together and get ready for getting to Charlene, because I bet you're really excited to see a new land, you know, being the adventurer that you are. He knows us too well. Mommy Heidelin. In her own words, she basically said that. You're probably excited to see a new place, so I'll leave you to it. What happens if we go back in here anyway? God, I love the FF5 theme. Oh right, these guys are still here for when we, yeah. So, when I get back, the plan is to get straight into these side quests. Gonna go right down the list. Alright, gotta talk to this fool. I like that the music doesn't change. It doesn't go to the normal, you know, in-room music that you get in other hotel rooms. Oh, I can't wait to try out this bed. It's gonna be nice. Alright, folks. Well, like they've been recommending, I gotta take a break. So, I'm gonna do what that one book said in the library and go look after myself for a little bit. I'm gonna go, you know, work out, take a shower, eat some food because I'm a little hungry too. And then I'll be back to stream a little bit more later. We're definitely gonna be taking our time with this. It's gonna be a slow grind. That's how I think you enjoy a brand new RPG the most. You take your time with it. As eager as I might eventually be sometimes to want to keep going because I'm excited to see what happens next, I have to, you know, reel myself in, tell myself to calm down, take a deep breath, and say, hey, you had the patience to do a 9-month-long Final Fantasy marathon up to this point. What's a little bit more? One step at a time, as they say, right? One step at a time. Whew! Alright, folks, I'm out. So, as always, thank you all very much for watching. Aiden Lorcan, Crimson Arrival, I very much appreciate you two coming here and keeping me company as I record this video. And to all of you watching in the future, I very much appreciate your support as well on Twitch or YouTube. Yeah, Twitch or YouTube, wherever you decide to watch. I don't know why I stumbled there. Thank you very much, and I'm glad somebody else out there, however few of you there may be, somehow finds my content entertaining.
Look at this dude.
Yeah. So yeah, with that said, as always, I bid you all please take care of yourselves, look after each other, stay safe out there, and until next time, please have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, and good night, as always. So, peace. Bye, everyone. God, this music is so cheerful. I love it. So happy.